Hello, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started with the orientation. My name is Tom. I am an academic advisor with Distance Learning Systems. I'll be doing the orientation today. So good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining in. What we're going to do first is I want to make sure everything is working from a technical standpoint, make sure everybody can see my screen, make sure they can hear me, and then we'll go from there. We'll go over everything for the orientation. So right now, all I have up on my screen is a Word document that says, "Welcome to the Distance Learning Systems New Student Orientation. We will begin shortly," and then has some contact information, our academics email, live chat, fax number. So if you guys can see that okay, if you can hear me, let me know. There's a place where you can type in little chat questions. So if you guys could type in, just let me know if that's all working okay, and then we can move ahead. Basically, while you guys are doing that, I'll let you know how the orientation is going to work. It'll be about an hour long, and what we're going to do is go over basically everything you need for our program to kind of discuss what you need to have. If you're just starting out new with us, if you've been with us for a little bit, either way, this is a good orientation. We're going to go over what you need to get started with us, what you'll need to set up your computer from a technical standpoint, and then we're going to go through how to access our website, how to access the classes, videos, materials, all that kind of stuff, and then also how to progress through the program after that using, signing up for other classes and exams and that kind of stuff. So great. Okay, I have one person saying they can hear me. So you also should be able to see the screen, so just making sure all that's working correctly. Okay, I have some people type in. Yeah, you should be able to see. It sounds like everybody's in the right place. You just want to click around and see if you can see the one screen that has my information on it. Here, I'll move around. Now I have our website up. So it says Distance Learning Systems has a login page and has some info on there. So if you guys can see that, that is what you guys should be seeing right now. Because what I'm going to do is click through things on the computer so that you guys can see that. You can see what's going on, all that kind of stuff. So if you're able to hear me, if you're on a computer with that, you may just click around and see if you can find the screen where you can see what I have up on there. If for any reason you can't see that, click around. It should be somewhere unless you clicked out of it. If you can't find it anywhere, like you clicked out of it, make sure you may just have to get out and get back into the orientation because it should be up somewhere. It all should pull up. If you can hear me, it should be there somewhere. Now, you will have to be on a computer to do this. You can't be on like a cell phone or that kind of thing. If you're trying to pull this up through your cell phone, there's a chance that the video component may not work. Okay. But if you're on a standard computer and you don't see my screen, just, get out of the orientation and get back in. Okay. If you're on a computer, it should be there. So if you're not seeing it, log out, log back in. It should pull right up. You'll be able to see me clicking through stuff. Okay. So while we make sure everybody I'm going to get back in. And so while everybody's doing that, we're just going to. If you don't have an option out, literally just click out of everything. Go back into your email and click on the link to access the orientation again. Okay. You should be able to at least exit out of everything. We give a couple people an opportunity to do that if they need to have their orientation again and see if they can see my screen. So I'll click back up here where it says, "Welcome to the Distance Learning Systems New Student Orientation. We will begin shortly. Email academics, live chat, fax them." Okay, perfect. So I see people see that now. Perfect. Okay, so if it sounds like people are here, they can see it. If for any reason, there's any issues as we go through, let me know. Good thing here is that people figure out how to use this question bank where you can type in things. As we go through everything, if you have questions about anything we're discussing, type them in. I want to answer everything. I want to make sure everything's clear. Larger questions, specific to you. If they're larger, you may want to wait till the end. I'll stick around for a few minutes at the end and answer questions as well at that point. But if anything comes up as we're going through, definitely type them in, and I'll answer it as we go through. Okay? So, like I said, my name's Tom. I'm an academic advisor. We're going to go through basically everything you need to get started up with the program. So first, I just have some contact information here on the screen, like we talked about. It is information that you'll have on our website as well, but I like to put it up. Best ways of getting in touch with us are these, the academics email, and the live chat. These are all linked on our website as well. So basically, if you're just starting up with us, what you'll need to do to get started, you should get 5 emails from us when you first start, and those 5 emails are going to have pretty much everything you need to get started. The first of the 5 emails has basically a general introduction, kind of like what we're doing now. It says this is the first of 5 emails you're going to get, and then it spells out the other emails so you know. The second email is one that's going to be specific to you. It's going to have some information about welcome packet, kind of welcoming you to the program, that kind of stuff. The third email has information on your specific username and password, the first class that you're in, that kind of stuff. So that third email has really important info you'll need to have. It has a link to our website, because everything you're going to do with us is through that website. So it'll have the link there and your individual username and password. The fourth email is one that is about transcripts. And as an academic advisor, I can say transcripts are important. So when you're in our program, the reason we like to see transcripts is to make sure we have you down for the right courses. So some of you may have had transcripts or copies of them or something that you brought when you first signed up with us that somebody already looked over. That's great. What that email will say, if you've done that, is it'll say these are the transcripts we have, and our academics department will be doing a second evaluation of them within the next certain amount of time, normally 30 days or so, and getting back with you. The reason we do that is we always want to do a second evaluation in academics department. We like to do 2. That way we make sure we have you down for the right classes, make sure there's no surprises down the road. If we don't have transcripts from you yet, that email will say that. It'll say we don't have any transcripts yet. Please send them as soon as you can so we can do an evaluation. So either way, you'll get an email like that. Those transcripts, just so you know, don't have to be official. They can be unofficial versions. They can be copies of something. As long as it has the information we need on them, we'll be fine. So that's the fourth out of the 5 email. The 5th email is a little different. I'll pull it up here, a copy of it. The 5th email is about a specific program that you want to install on your computer that lets you view our tutorials, which is the reading material for the class. It's a program called LockLizard Safeguard PDF Viewer. So what we'll want to do here is we're going to switch gears and kind of talk about, with this last email, we're going to go into things from a technical standpoint, things you want to have on your computer. Now, just so you know, some of the stuff we're going to go through now, you won't want to do it at the same time that we are, so you won't want to install these programs while we're doing it. But what I'm going to do is give you a feel for how it will work, so that if you haven't done it yet, later on you can go and you can do it yourself, and it should make sense. Okay. So there's a few programs you need to have installed on your computer in order to do different aspects of the program. I did get a note here for anybody who didn't get certain emails. If you, for any reason, you didn't get one or all of them, just let me know. Type in there which ones you didn't get and your email address so I can confirm that later, make sure we have it correct, and I will get them reset. Okay. So the LockLizard one is the one program you probably do not have on the computer, and it's one that's individualized, so we have to send you an email with an individual license on it. So this email is something you'll want to go through and install on any computer device where you want to access your tutorials. And again, that's your reading material for our program. So for each course you're in, you're going to have a tutorial, which is like your book for the class. And you have to have LockLizard here to view it. So what you'll do is pull up the email and go through the steps of how to install and register it. You can see the operating systems that you can install it on. You can install it on Windows, which is a traditional Windows computer. You can install on Mac, so a Mac computer. iOS, which is like a iPad or an iPhone. And there's an Android. So that's an Android based operating system. So a lot of tablets or phones use Androids. So the nice thing with this is for the Lock Lizard, with the tutorials, you can install this on lots of different devices, computers, tablets, or phones if they use these operating systems. And you can actually install on multiple devices. So you can go through these steps on multiple computers, devices to install it. So what you'll do, I'll just show you. Here I'm on a regular computer, so I'll click on the Windows one. And it takes you to this screen where it gives you specific instructions for installing. You can see it tells you the Windows version it's compatible with. And then basically what you do to install is click here, Windows EXE. It'll bring up the further installation instructions. After you've gone through the installation and installed it, you'll see here what you have to do after that is activate, register your license. Go to the Your License section of the email that was sent to you. So this is the part that's easy to miss. You want to make sure you don't miss it. This takes you out of the email and then into a specific screen to install. And then after you've done that to register the license, you actually have to go back into the email. So that's why it's easy to miss. So after you've done that, you'll go back into this email, go here to the Your License section, and it says double-click on the attached license file.llv in your email application. So what you're basically doing is opening that attachment. My attachments on my email are down here. You can see it says Wheeler Tom.llv, and basically what I'm doing is opening that. So it should have your name.llv. And once you've done that, you'll know you've done it correctly if you get a little box that pops up saying, congratulations, you've successfully registered, then you know you're good to go. So that's the will be everything you need to do to get Lock Lizard set up. The other programs that you need to have on your computer, there's another one you probably do not have that you can install on our website. There's a couple others that you may already have, but on our website as well. You can test to see if you have them and install them if you don't. So the rest you'll do through our website, and I'll show you how to do that. But part of knowing how to do that is knowing how to get onto our website and everything. So I'll show you that as we go through. First thing, easiest way to get to the website the first time is, like I said, one of those emails you got will have your username and password and also a link to our website. So if you pull that up, you can click on the link, and it should take you to our website, our main website, which is www.dlsi-online.com. You can see that here. And this will be the main page where you'll log in. So what you want to do from here is log in with your username and password that was given on the website, or that was given in that email that we sent you. And you want to put it in exactly as it appears in the email. So for the password, if there's a capital letter, you want to make sure you do that. I put that in. So you'll put it in here and click log in. And that takes you to the main page here. So first I'll show you kind of how the main page of the website is set up so you're familiar with it, and then I'll show you where to go to install these programs. So the main page when you log in will look like this. Some information in the top and information on the sides, as well as down below. Main area that's really important is a place that says My Courses and then lists different things here. Under My Courses, you'll have different things like this: new student orientation, class schedules, helpful study tips, testing site information. And the last thing on the list here should always be your current class. So if you're currently in a class, I have a sample class here, a Nursing 108 Transition course, and that will be there. Important note about these links, the links should show up online for you for your current class, should show up the Friday before they start. So for example, what that means is if you're going to start a class in a few weeks, but it isn't about to start, you may not have that link yet. It may not have shown up. But don't worry, it will show up the Friday before it starts. So that is when that link shows up and where it should be. The rest of the site's really pretty general. At the top is general info. You can see here the nice thing, we have a link to the chat, like I talked about. On the side, we have contact information we talked about. And it also says we're available. So here in the live chat, we actually have people available very often. So you can see Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time, and Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can get somebody on chat during those times. Important note when we talk about times on the website, we have everything in Eastern Standard Time. Reason for that, we have people all over the country, so we kind of have to do a standard version. So everything on there is Eastern Standard Time. If you're in a different time zone, you just want to make sure you convert that you're familiar with doing that, and that you know that that's going on. So, for example, Eastern Standard Time, it's about 9:20 here. If you're on Central Time, you'd be an hour behind, so it'd be about 8:20 there. Okay, so you just want to make sure you convert it that way. So you can see here, you can touch on chat pretty regularly throughout the week, and then on Saturday. Our online hours, when we're here in the office Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can see we're available here that time, but after hours we do have people available on chat that can help. So that's the main thing with that. What I want to show you now is here under my courses, where you have links to different things, lots of helpful info here, and the place you can go to test the programs you need. So everything you need to have set up on your computer is here under New Student Orientation. So I'll go ahead and click into that. And that takes us here. What you can do whenever you get a chance down here, and you're going to scroll down to this place where it says Programs Needed for the Online Classroom. Okay? So there are different programs here that you can use. Different programs that you'll need and ways to access it. You can see Adobe Reader, PowerPoint, LockLizard, and Blackboard Launcher. Okay, the Adobe Reader and PowerPoint, you may already have these, but you may not. So what you can do to test and see if you have them is actually click on the first link in each section. So under Adobe Reader, you can see here, click here to see if you're able to view Adobe Reader documents. So I'll click there. And then I get this screen. It says you can view PDF documents. If you get this, says this, you know you're good to go. If for any reason you don't get it, then you'll probably need to install the software. So what you do is go back. And then in the section, the second thing should be a place where you can go to install it. So click here for help viewing Adobe files. You click there. It would take us to a page here where it says, oh, you just go here to this website, click on the Download Now button, and install it. So it's as easy as that. You want to do that for Adobe and for the PowerPoint. The other two programs are a little different. Like we said, LockLizard is what we already talked about. It's in that email, so you have to install it from the email. But after you've done that, you can click here to test and make sure you can view it. So you'll want to do that. The last one is the Blackboard Launcher. Now, the Blackboard Launcher, you're going to install a little bit differently. Okay, this is a program that you probably don't have either. What you'll do for the Blackboard Launcher is actually up here at the top of the page. You scroll up to the top on our website, you can see there's IT support. What you'll do, and this is a place you can go to basically do the same thing too. What you'll see is on our website we actually normally have a few different places where you can do things. But the IT support, the easiest way for the Blackboard Launcher is here. You go to IT support, down to programs needed for the online class, over to Blackboard Launcher, and then it basically takes you to a place where you can automatically download it. There's a Mac version and a Windows, so you want to make sure you click on the right one depending on where you are. Click on that, and it's going to work you through the installation process for Blackboard. Okay. So once you've done all of those, you should have everything set up from a technical standpoint. Now, again, I suggest coming here to the website and doing this at some point before your actual class starts, because that way you'll know you have everything set up. You'll know you don't have any technical issues before your class. And then if you can do everything, if you can open all the sample documents here, you know you'll be able to open them on the day of your class. That way you don't have to worry about the day of your actual video having technical issues. You should have everything sorted out ahead of time. So if you do this, if you go through all these steps and you're still having problems, let us know, because we do have tech support that can help. Okay? So that's setting up everything. From a technical standpoint, what you want to do after this is just kind of get comfortable with everything. The way everything's set up, the way your specific computer works. Here's what I can say as far as browsers. You should be good for most internet browsers. We normally suggest using Google Chrome or Firefox, but if you have Internet Explorer, it may be okay. You just want to make sure you have an updated version of it and that it's running smoothly. If you want to install Google Chrome or Firefox, you can do that. They're both free downloads online. You can just search for them and download them. And once you, depending on the browser you're using, once you're using it, you want to just get comfortable with the way it downloads things. So you'll be downloading a lot of things through the website. You just want to be familiar with how it works so that you can do it easily. So what I want to do now is show you basically a sample version of our class and where you'll be able to access things in that. So again, here on the main page under My Courses, this is where you'll have your link to the class, the last thing on here. So like I said, I have a sample nursing class. What I'm going to do now is test that. So I'm going to click on this nursing course. So what you would do when you have the class link here, you would click there to take you to the main page for the class. So you can see here, then it takes you to the main page for the class, and this is where you're going to do pretty much everything for your class. The basic setup of our classes is pretty much the same no matter what class you're in. So the good thing about that is whether you're in a nursing class, whether you're in a gen ed, maybe an A&P or humanities or something, the general setup of the structure of the class will be the same. So once you get used to this, you should be good as you go on your other classes. Kind of be comfortable with it and good to go. The format, there's always an introductory section at the top or give some general info. The individual links in here may be slightly different depending on what the instructor has in, but you can see there's this one has a course syllabus, news forum, study guide, student guidelines, that kind of stuff. What you're always going to have in the introductory section is your tutorial. And again, your tutorial is like your book for the class, very important. So you can see here a link, click here to access your tutorial. So what I want to do is show you how to access this and kind of how to utilize it as well. So what you do, click here to access your tutorial. From here, again, you just want to be comfortable with the way your computer downloads things. I'm using Google Chrome, so you can see it downloads the file down here. Probably kind of small, hard to see on your end, but it's right here. And what you do, just click there to open it. Now, again, this is the tutorial, which should open in LockWizard. So it should be opening in the LockWizard Safeguard program. If for any reason the first time you're trying to open this you have any problems, make sure it's opening in LockWizard Safeguard Secure Viewer. You see that up here. If for any reason it's not, you just want to reset the defaults to open in that program. Okay. And here it is. This is something that's nice to see too. You can see this. It says, would you like to check for new LockWizard Safeguard Secure PDF Viewer updates? Sometimes you'll get the screen where it's asking if you want to do updates. I'm going to click no now, but just so you know, from time to time, you may want to click yes on that. Just make sure everything's up to date. So again, this is basically just like a book for the class. So what you want to do is get familiar with how to scroll through it. Up here, there's arrows where you can go page by page. You can click this to go to the next page, next page. Of course, there's arrows here on the side that you can use. And you can also just type in a number here. So say, for example, I read to page 20 last time. I could just click in 20 there, enter, takes me to page 20. So in your class, each week they're basically going to tell you what to read out of this tutorial. So you just want to kind of each week find out what you're wanting to read. If it's Unit 1, maybe the first week, you'll go and you'll read Unit 1, and you'll be good with your reading assignment. Also, I like to show people this, the second page of the tutorial, okay? The second page of the tutorial is going to be a stop page. This page is going to give you info on the exam. So just kind of an overview of how everything's working. You're taking courses through us to prepare you for exams you're going to take through a local testing center in order to get credit. So this page is important because it tells you the type of exam you're studying for and how to schedule it. There's also another place on the website where we give info on types of exams and how to schedule. I'm going to show you guys that later. We're going to go into exams in detail. But I do want to let everybody know, because sometimes you want to know what type of exam you're studying for, it's always available here on the second page of your tutorial. Okay? So that info is here. One other thing I like to show people is, nice thing about having this on the computer is that you have a search function where you can find things actually on the website. So I'll show you this. Say, for example, maybe I did a practice question, I got something wrong, and I want to look up that topic and read it. You don't have to flip through the whole thing. You can actually find it. So you can go up here to Document, down to Find Text, and it brings up a box where you can just type in anything you want. So let's say I'm looking for that. I type it in. Here it gives me everywhere that's mentioned in the tutorial. See page 11, I can click on there. That lets me know it's right here. Page 36, there. It's listed there. So what I can do is do searches for things like this. I'm wanting to find stuff. It makes it really nice. It's very, very nice having it on the computer so you can do stuff like that. If you do want to have a paper version of this as well, you have two options. You can either print it yourself if you have a printer, file print. You can print part or all. Or we do have paper copies here that we bind like books that we can ship to you. Those do cost extra. We basically just cover our printing, binding, and shipping costs. But if you are interested in getting one of those for a class you're in, just contact us. We can give you the cost and do that. Okay, so that is the tutorial. So now I'm back on the page for the In108 class. So again, I showed you the introductory section and accessing the tutorial. Below that, to go back over how the class is structured, below the introductory section you have weekly breakdowns. And so you can see week 1 gives you the topic for the week. And then the first link in the week should be your video. So the time the video is going to be, and then a link for it. So you can see here, live video lecture will be Monday, December 1st, from 5 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, remembering that everything's on Eastern Standard Time, so we're going to get familiar with that. And then right below there, click here to view week 1 recorded video. This video is already over, so the link is for a recorded version of that video, since it's no longer live. When this was live, so on December 1st at 5 o'clock, there would have been a link here that says click here to view week 1 live video. So same place for the link for week 1, whether or not it's recorded or live. It's just that depends on when you're getting into it. So the live link will be up while the class is live. If it's after that, you'll click in the same place to view the recorded video. Okay, a recorded video link is normally posted within 1 business day of the live class. So within 1 business day, it will be up, and then it will stay up for the remainder of the class. You can always get back in and watch it. So I'm going to click here to show you how to access the video. You click on this link, and it'll take you to Blackboard Collaborate. They're the ones that host our videos. So you'll basically put in your name and email address here. And then you'll click View Recording. And you can see that it downloads to the bottom of the screen, just like the other thing. You should be able to just click down here to open it. And you can see you get a few boxes that pop up as you're opening. Now, if you have any security on your computer, normally you're okay, but you may get some boxes that pop up when you're downloading things like this. To ask you if you want to open it, ask you, if you want to run certain things. So you just want to be familiar, again, with your computer and the settings and that kind of stuff, so you know. And the first time we're opening this up, it may take a minute, so we're just going to give it a second to open up the video. Here we go. It's my fault if I'm opening up too, but so it's taking a little longer. And here it is, opening up and downloading. So with this, we didn't really get too many security things popping up, but again, on your end, maybe that'll happen, depending on your settings. But this is the basic way the computer, a video should look on your computer. You can see that when you open a recorded version, it may start playing automatically or it may not. So with this one, it did not. With a live one, of course, will come right up. But up here in the top, this black area is where you'll have the instructor. On the side, this big white area is where you'll have the PowerPoints. The instructor will be going through PowerPoints as you go. Under participants, if you're in here live, this is where everybody would be that's in there. And then under chat is where you'll have a chat function. Now, if you're watching it recorded, the nice thing is you'll still see the participants that were in there live and their chats that happened. Of course, you won't be able to chat in as well if it's recorded, but you'll be able to see it. Nice thing about that is if you're watching it recorded, you can see everything that happened, the questions and answers and things. So if you're going through, maybe you have a question about something, chances are somebody may have the same question, so you may see the answer there. If not, if you still have things you want to ask the instructor about, the instructor will give you contact information, so if you're in there as a recorded, watching it recorded instead of live, you can always email the instructor questions and feedback and things. So what I'm going to do is click, there's a play pause button down here, I'm going to click play real fast, kind of give you a little feel for it. You can just kind of see how it works. You'll see the instructor and the PowerPoints over here. If you're watching it live, it's nice, pretty much the same things here. There'll be a chat function like that. You can type in questions here. If you're watching it recorded, or you will need to watch part of it later, nice thing is, see how this line over here is showing where it's downloading to. You can always play, pause it. You can move it around. So say, for example, I watched this before, but I want to go in and watch part of it. Again, I can just move the little circle here to the area I want to go to, maybe about around an hour, and let it download to that point, and then click play, and I can watch it. The video is going to show you where you are. Counter over here shows you where you are at the total video. Linked over here to the side. The videos are normally 3 to 4 hours, depending on material they're going to cover and questions that come up, that kind of stuff. So that's generally how the videos work. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get out of that. And I'll go back to the class. So we're back in the class here. Here we are in week 1. Again, this is where we click to view the video. So what I'm going to do is show you the other links and things that are available for each week and the rest of the class. Below the video, you're going to have other links. You can see here a link to the week 1 PowerPoint. Those are the PowerPoints that were gone over within the class. But if you want to have the PowerPoint separate, you can pull them up that way if you just want to look at them later. Reading assignments, like I said, I'll tell you here. So tutorial, read Unit 1. That lets you know, like the tutorial we accessed, you're going to read that unit. Textbook. Here's what I want to go over about that. There are also textbook reading assignments if you want to do that. Textbooks. These are not required, but there are some textbook reading that you can do if you want to. And I'll explain what that means. And basically, this is just for people who are in our ASN program, the ASN nursing program, specifically just the nursing classes, not gen eds if you need any of those. Just the nursing ones. We have people coming in from all sorts of different backgrounds doing the program. So some of you could be practical nurses, LPNs, LVNs, or you may be paramedics or respiratory therapists. And depending on your background, maybe the job you've had, what you've been doing, you may want some outside reading. Everything you need should be in what we provide in the class. The tutorial should have the main reading material that you need. But if you feel like you need any more in-depth information on a specific topic or anything like that, or background info, we found basically 2 textbooks that would cover everything you need for more in-depth info. And we have those in the welcome packet. It lists what those 2 are and which classes reference those if you need them. And so if you feel like you need any more in-depth info, we basically have reading assignments to go along with that if you want more info. But again, everything you need should be in the tutorial, but those are there because we want to provide everybody with as much info as they need. So if you do feel like you need more in-depth info, we list you those. We tell you where to go in those. You just need to go purchase those textbooks separately yourself if you want to. Okay. So that's that reading. Down below that, other links. Basically, you're going to have links to other things that are good for the week's topic. You can see this one this week in this nursing course. They go over, I think, nursing organizations and associations. So you can see links to websites for some of those. Here's some documents that are helpful. And below that is a practice quiz for the week 1 quiz. So each week's going to be set up this way with a link for the video, PowerPoints, different things that are helpful, and then a quiz at the end. Remember that your actual test you're going to take at the end of the class, your local testing center, is how you're getting the grade. So these quizzes are not for any official grade. They're not going to help or hurt you. What they're going to do is help let you know where you stand with the material. So they're still very important. If you take the weekly quiz after you've done everything and you score really well, you know you're ready to move on. If you don't score as well, you know you need to give yourself some more time. You know you need to go back with some of it and keep going over it. Now, as long as you're keeping up week to week with everything in here, you're good. And you can see after the end of week 1, week 2 appears below. When a class first starts, week 2 won't be there. It'll just be week 1. And then as you're coming up on week 2, it will appear there, and the weeks will just add on down below. And you'll always have access to previous weeks. The next week will just add on. So you can see week 2, same basic setup. New topic, video, PowerPoint, reading assignments, other links, practice quiz at the end of the week. Every week will be set up that same way. So you basically need to keep up week to week, go through everything. No matter when you do it, you'll be fine as long as you keep up week to week. As long as you're doing your reading assignment at some point during the week, as long as you're watching the video at some point during the week, all that, you're fine. You can see it once you get to the end of the class, the last week of the class. A few new things. At the very, very end, there's also going to be a final practice quiz. So when you get to the very end, you have a quiz that's going to go over everything that you studied. And this is really important because it lets you know if you're ready for the actual exam to the testing center at the very end of everything. Okay? So you take that quiz. If you score really well on that, you know you're ready to go. If you don't score as well, it's still good because it lets you know the areas you can go back in and keep studying to make sure you're prepared. And you can take these quizzes multiple times. So don't feel like you take it once, you don't do well, that's it. You can go back in and take it again after you've studied some more. So it really helps you out, make sure you're prepared. And just so you know, in some of these classes, each weekly quiz, you do have to score a 95% or better in order to move on to the next. That's basically just there to make sure you're going back and learning what you need to do. So remember that. The other thing about the end of the class is when the class ends, when the last video goes up. I wrote about it here on the page, but it says there's a 10-day grace period from the last day of class in which the class will remain open for catching up, retaking quizzes, and review. After this grace period, you will lose access to the class. So 10 days after the last video of the class will go away. You won't have access anymore. Basically, a new class will start for new people. So 10 days, you want to make sure you get through everything with that. If for any reason 10 days is over, you still need more time with material, anything, let us know. There are other options for that, okay? So just let us know. But after 10 days, know that link will go away. Now, this is okay because when we talk about taking quizzes, progressing through the program, taking actual tests through your testing site, we suggest taking the test to the testing site within 1 to 3 weeks of finishing a class. So if you do that, that's when we see the highest exam results. So you want to plan on that as you're going through your first class. You want to plan on taking your exam within 1 to 3 weeks. What that means is if you're keeping up on the class, if you're doing well, go ahead and schedule your exam early. Go ahead and schedule it halfway through the class. Go ahead and get it set up and then schedule it. Of course, you're not going to schedule it until the actual date of it for 1 to 3 weeks after the class, but you can actually schedule ahead. So that way, middle of the class, you can go ahead and set up the time for 1 to 3 weeks after the class, and you're good. Nice thing is, if for any reason something crazy happens and it isn't going to work for you, you can always reschedule an exam. As long as you're rescheduling it more than 2 business days from the exam, longer out than that, there's no penalty. You can do it. So that would be my suggestion. Kind of plan ahead, plan on that. If you get to the end of the class, you're scoring well and everything, you know you'll be able to test early in that span, around 1 week. If you don't score as well, you need more time, push it back a little, maybe closer to the 3-week mark after the class, okay? So that's basically how you're going to go through the class, get prepared for an exam, that kind of stuff. So what I want to show you now is how to schedule those exams. So we talked about some info being in the tutorial, but also on our website, some more detailed info. So we go back to the main page of our website, and I'll show you where to access info on exams. Again, here under My Courses, there's a link you'll have that says Testing Site Information. And you'll click on that. And this we'll take you to a place where it has info on all the different types of exams. And it's going to break it down into sections. There are basically 3 types of exams. Every course that you're taking through us is going to be set up for a specific exam that could be one of these 3 types. There's Excelsior exams, there are Dante's exams, and there are CLEP exams. Okay, so basically you need to know which type you're studying for, and then based on that, do the steps for that type of exam. Again, the info on which type it is there in the tutorial, but it's also here. So under each section, they're going to list the courses that are for that type of exam. So under CLEP, there's some gen eds here. Under Dante's, there's some gen eds here. And under Excelsior, there are some general education courses, and also if you're in our ASN program, all of your nursing courses are Excelsior. So you just kind of want to get familiar with this, kind of get used to this. Now, when we list all these different courses, this does not mean that you need all of these. These are just ones that are part of that. In a little bit, I'm going to show you how to know the courses that you specifically need, because that can be different depending on the person and depending on the previous credits you have. But this is where you can go to look that up. So say, for example, you're taking an A&P class, you want to know about that exam. Basically, you find it here, see which section it's in. A&P is here under Excelsior. So then you want to do the steps for Excelsior. Basically, you want to go through all this so you're familiar with it. But the general idea, Excelsior exams, 2-step process for signing up for the exam. First, you contact Excelsior to pay. Then you contact Pearson VUE, which runs the testing site, to set up a specific date and time. Nice thing is here in the Excelsior section of the Pearson VUE website, where you can click on and you can actually search for testing sites in your area. So if you want to plan ahead and find a testing site, you can go in there, type in it'll take you to a website where you can type in your city, state, or your zip code, and it'll show you what's nearby. Dante's and CLEP exams, same sort of idea, but a little bit simpler for signing up for those. Once you know you're taking a Dante's or a CLEP, you basically contact either Dante's or CLEP, pay for the exam, and then sign up through a specific testing center with them. And again, same sort of thing here. You can see there's a link you can go to for the CLEP website where you can search for testing sites for those as well. The testing sites, depending on the type, can vary slightly. So what that means is some Excelsior testing locations may also do CLEP, some may not. So you just want to be familiar, make sure you're doing a test, make sure you're searching for a testing center specifically through the type of exam you're wanting to do. Okay, so that's info on taking those exams. Once you've taken an exam, you're going to sign up, like I said, sign up ahead. That's what I suggest so that you get a good spot. And then if anything crazy happens, like I said, you can reschedule as long as you're doing it more than a few days out. There's no penalty, so you can reschedule and you'll be fine. Once you take an exam, just let us know. It's important for us to know how you do on these exams because we want to track your progress on our end, but also we like to make sure we're doing what we need. So we track scores really a lot here in the academics department, so we make sure that we're providing what you need, that everybody's being successful. Okay, and we do have a great program, lots of people being very, very successful. Most of our classes, we have about a 93, 94% pass rate, so it's going great, but part of that is that we like your feedback. We like to get these grades, we like to do all that. So once you do this, once you take an exam, let us know. You can either fax us that grade report, like I said, fax number on the website, or you can scan and email it to us, email address on the website, any of that. Just let us know, and that way we know what's going on. So that's exams. I also want to show you how to self-schedule classes. So you start up with us. We normally schedule your first class. After that, you can actually self-schedule. So what that means is you want to get familiar with kind of the order you want to take classes, and then also how to self-schedule. So I'll show you a little bit about that. Nice thing with a new setup on the website is over here on the left-hand side, on the main web page where you're logged in, you can see this box that says Programs, and down below that it's going to list different classes. These should be just the courses that you specifically need. So only the ones listed in Programs should just be the ones for you. I have a bunch of sample ones here. But if you're in our ASN program, it should just list the gen eds you need here and the nursing ones. We talked earlier about transcripts. If we haven't evaluated your transcript yet, this is basically going to list the ones that we maybe discussed with you before and we think you need. But if there needs to be any changes to these based on transcripts, we'll get in touch with you. Okay, I'll kind of go over that. But this should be a list of the ones that you need. And what you do to figure out how to schedule is to go under my courses again, under class schedules. So I'll click here. The first thing in the class schedule is going to give you a general idea of the order you want to take classes if you're doing our ASN program. So first, this is important to know. Our suggestion on the order to take classes, take your gen ed courses first. So any gen eds you need, again, these could be different depending on the person, but if you need gen eds, do those first, then go into the nursing courses. Reason for that is you do have to have your A&P and micro tests completed before you can do your nursing. So it's just helpful to get those out of the way and the other gen eds first. Then you go into your nursing. With your nursing, you don't necessarily have a specific order on those you have to do. The only requirement is you have to finish your 100 level nursing before you move on to your 200 level nursing. So you finish your gen eds, then go into your nursing, do all of your 100 level in whatever order you want, but finish all the 100 level, and then move on to your 200 level. And again, you can do the 200 in whatever level. You just want to make sure, in whatever order you want, you just want to make sure you finish all them before you move on after the 200. So 100 level, 200 level, and you're good. Also know that once you get into the nursing, you need to be enrolled with Excelsior. Okay, so you can do all your gen eds before you're enrolled with Excelsior, but for your nursing, you have to be enrolled. Once you get to that point, you want to enroll with Excelsior by going to Excelsior's website. That's www.excelsior.edu. They have a link there that says Apply Enroll, and it will work you through the application process. Once you do that, you'll also send official transcripts to Excelsior so they can transfer all the credit in. And then they'll get back to you after they go through your application and your official transcripts. They'll get back to you with official enrollment paperwork, how to finalize that. So that's what you'll do at that point. So again, now that you know the order, then down here is where we have a short video that you can have to reference how to schedule, and then also upcoming class schedules will be listed here as well. So you can see monthly schedules, basically everything we have to offer, so you can see based on the classes you need what you may want out of this. So say, for example, I'm looking April. I'll click on that. Here's the April schedule. So we have Nursing 105, Health Dietetics starting on 4/2. Videos are Thursdays at 9 a.m. Again, remember Eastern Standard Time. So this is where you can go to check out all the different offerings we have. And you can see there's a registration date. What that means is you can register for this specific class on January 1st. Through the online scheduling system. Normally, they'll let you schedule a class about 3 months ahead. So if it's more than 3 months out you're looking at, you may not be able to schedule yet, but it'll tell you the date that you can. And that way you know that registration date you can come back and you can self-schedule. Okay. So you can check out things here, and you can self-schedule. What I'll do is show you how to schedule a class. Again, this video here will help you if you need to have a reference. I'm going to go back to the main page and show you how to do this. So if you went to the schedule, you saw the class that you want to take based on what you need, you can go back here to this program section that I showed you earlier, and you can self-schedule through this. So say, for example, I wanted to do a humanities class. What I would do is click on humanities here. It's going to tell me if I'm enrolled yet or not. So you can see it says not enrolled. If I was enrolled in this class, maybe coming up or previously, it would say enrolled. Nice thing about that is, say you schedule a class, but you don't remember when you scheduled it, you can always go here, it'll say enrolled, and you can click on it to check the dates on that, okay? But if you're not enrolled, you click here to enroll. So I would just like, okay, humanities, I want to enroll in that, click there. And it's going to give me the options of all of the different humanities classes coming up. So what I would do is I can just click through the ones here, find the one I want to do. Say I wanted the one here on 2/23/2015, I'd click enroll, and then I'd be good. I'd be enrolled. You can double check by going back, clicking on humanities, and it should say at that point you're enrolled, and then you can see the date. So that's how you would enroll in a specific class. And I do have a question about can't schedule ahead for the nursing while we're in the A&P micro. That's a great question. Here's the thing. You cannot take a nursing exam until you finish the AP and micro exams, okay? So that's where the rule comes in. So if you're planning ahead and you're really wanting to get through quickly, you could go ahead and schedule a nursing course while you're in AP micro. Just know that you have to keep up with those and finish the micro and the A&P exams before you finish the nursing course and take that exam, if that makes sense. I know that's complicated, but way to think of it is you could go ahead and schedule a nursing course while you're doing AP Micro, but you have to make sure you take the exams in order and don't get too far ahead of yourself. You know what I mean? But good question. That's what you want to do. Make sure you do AP Micro exams before your nursing exam, but you can schedule ahead and keep going and be okay. Okay. So that's scheduling exams, order to take exams, that kind of stuff. So I think that's most of what we want to go through. Just other couple things I want to point back out again. I think I went over, but course links always here. Shows up the Friday before. Start date of the class. Definitely know we're always here for questions. Live chat, academics, email, that kind of stuff is all here on the website. Keep in mind your hours so that you get on live chat with questions, anything you need there. And you should be good. If you get anything out of this orientation, at least know that the info is here on our website. So a lot of info. It's too much to remember all at once. I know that. So the good thing is, as long as you know where to go on our beyond that, questions, let us know. So I think that's it we need to go over. So I hope this was helpful for everybody. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. Like I said, I will stick around for a few minutes. So if you have other questions, type them in. If not, we are done. So thanks everybody for joining in. You guys have a nice day.